Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Scoreboard Keepers. I am your host, the Ref, where I keep up the score and everything sports, hip hop, and hot topics. Well, we have some very interesting things coming out of the state of Minnesota. Jesse Ventura. Do you guys remember Jesse Ventura, the ex-professional wrestler? Jesse the Body Ventura, as he was coined as. And former governor. He has some pretty fiery things to say about our government and about our president and about these things that are going on inside of Minnesota right now pertaining to the ICE agents that are they doing their job? Are they overdoing their job? What is it? Let's listen to what Jesse has to say. This was some eye-opening statements made by Jesse.
Chris, did it make you feel better to have that conversation, or what would you say?
No, I'm just saying, as a graduate of Roosevelt High School and as the former governor of Minnesota, I'm so proud of Roosevelt High School and how they stood up for what is supposed to be America and freedom. And freedom is not arresting people without warrants. We have a system here. It's called a constitution.
Jesse, you are now on the clock and you are putting up points. I have to give you a point because we are scoring you today. That's a very, very, very good point. We do have a system in this country. Our Constitution, people have rights. But there's a fine line between people having rights and people taking advantage of our system here in the United States of America. Of course, this seems to be one of the only places on planet Earth right now that most people want to come to, and it's considered to be a melting pot. We have people from everywhere in this country. Do they have the same rights as people that are born here? No. Some people are visitors. They come with a different philosophy. They come with a different standard of living. They come with a different perspective on all things, including religion, you name it. It's just a different culture. Some people just have different cultures. And when they come here to this country, we allow people to practice whatever it was you were practicing when you were wherever you came from, abroad. And they allow you to come here and to be free to do these things. Now, nobody ever said that these things would all be able to coexist together. Nobody ever talks about that. It just because it's free, is it able for everything to coexist all at once? Just can we all share the same space with everybody practicing different things and it coexists at once? That's the question nobody asked. But I do give you a point, former governor, because you're right. We do have a constitution here, and we should be all taking it very serious.
And we have a party, the Republicans, who don't seem to want to abide by the Constitution. January 6th is a prime example of that. And now they're all free and they're in charge. You know what?
That's a very good point. January 6th was something that we've never seen before on the United States soil. I don't care what political party you choose to support. I don't care what political party you choose to follow. You may not choose either Democrat or Republican. You may be right in the middle. It doesn't matter. The point is that what we saw going on in Washington on January the 6th was something that we can all say that we've never seen before. I've never seen people going inside of state buildings like that. Right. Listen, good, bad, right, wrong, or indifferent. It doesn't matter. The point is, it was just something that we had never seen before. It seemed like a lot of entitlement was going on, and that is other ways to prove your point than what we saw on January 6th. There was video footage of officers getting hurt. There was people going inside the buildings. There There was rumors that people were inside of Nancy Pelosi's office with their feet up on her desk and things like that. I mean, just little things like that. You know, I mean, first of all, that's a woman, that's a female, and I didn't think that was the place. I didn't think that was the time or the place to push your message to where people ended up getting hurt, law enforcement included. And Jesse has a point here. I mean, it's hard for me to disagree with what he's saying, because January 6th was something that I never seen before happen on American soil, and especially to a government building. I never seen that before. That was the first time. I'm pretty sure it's the first time that I seen it. That's the first time that the world seen it, because nobody, foreign or domestic, has ever intruded on a government facility like that on national television. Not in my lifetime. I don't remember ever seeing that. So that's another point for you, Jesse.
Maybe it's time for Jesse. I only did one term. I'm owed a second.
Mr. Ventura, can you tell us, remind us, you went to school here?
I went to school here. I'm a 1969 graduate of Minneapolis Roosevelt. I'm proud of them for what they did. They made me proud as an alumni. Go Teddies.
What are your thoughts? I know we're jumping in, probably doubling up on some of his questions, but what are some of your thoughts about what unfolded yesterday? And then after that, what you saw?
Well, I've told you already, we're a country of the Constitution. We have leadership now that has destroyed the Constitution. They don't follow it. They could care less about it. Am I right or wrong? I took an oath.
Well, I'm not going to say you're right or wrong, but that is debatable. Just like you have your shades on, I have my shades on. We see things differently. That's not for me to judge whether or not they are abiding by the Constitution or not, because there's so many laws that we have in this land. We can't tell if they're actually defending the country or actually offending the country. I mean, we just can't tell. But, you know, we all see things through different lenses. And that's one of the problems that I have with politics, because no matter what decision is made, it's going to be impossible to make everybody happy. So sometimes you just have to do what's best for the flock. If you get what I'm saying, you can't make everybody happy politically. If it was, we'd all be voting for one color, or we'd all be voting for one person, and we all be on one accord, and everybody would be singing Kumbaya. But guess what? We're not. We're not all doing that. So no matter what happens, no matter what decision, and I'm talking about any president, whether it's for me or the person next door, they're going to do something that's going to be good for me. They're going to do something that's going to be bad for me. And it's going to be the same thing next door as well. So, you know, it may not, everything that a president does when they're in office, or a government does in office, doesn't always 100% benefit any American of the United States. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. So somebody's going to be disappointed in some kind of way. But then there's other things that you're going to benefit from as well. So for me to say that they're offending the Constitution and not defending it, that's up for debate. That's up for debate. Let's continue, Jesse. But you're doing pretty good right now.
To defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Okay.
I view after January 6th, the Republican Party is a domestic enemy to our Constitution.
Wow.
I can't get any bolder than that, can I?
And you obviously saw the video that the student shot outside here, and that obviously elicited a lot of emotions for you. Just watching
What do you mean
that,
the student shot?
there were some students who shot the video of the chaos here yesterday.
No,
It was
I
nice.
didn't even see
Oh, you
it.
didn't see it? Okay, I thought
I
you
didn't
did.
see it.
Okay. Okay.
The only thing I've seen is the murder.
So
Mm.
you were a student here. When did you graduate? And
1969.
Have you been back here? Talk about that. Is this like first time back?
No. Came back to homecoming 2 years ago. No. I'm a proud graduate. I held 3 school records in swimming, 2 District 17 records. Our football team was undefeated. We won. Back then, there were no playoffs. We played St. Paul Central for the Twin City Championship and defeated them. I think it was 21-6. And we did that at the old brick house, if you remember that, the old University of Minnesota. That's where they used to play the Twin City Championship game. There weren't playoffs then.
Dave Winfield was on.
Okay, Jesse. Now I know you were very athletic. You played football. You did a lot of things. You were also a great professional wrestler. But man, you just came right out and just blurted out that you witnessed a murder. This thing hasn't been. If you defend the Constitution, Jesse, you got to know that you are innocent until proven guilty. Now that's just the law. So to say and outright condemn somebody and say that it was murder without hearing all the facts, I mean, this is a little presumptuous. I didn't give you a point on that. I gave you a points for your athletic career, but for you to go out and say that that was murder, I believe that you're a little premature on that and a little presumptuous. And I think that our judicial system needs to run its course before we can make that assertion. I can't just come out and say that somebody was murdered without hearing all the facts, because we still don't know exactly what was all going on. We just know that it was a woman, and we know that we know a little bit about her history, but I still don't know anything about the incident. I know more about her life style situation than I do about what happened that day. So let's let all the facts come out first before we jump to conclusions of murder.
That Central team, wasn't he?
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. We beat Dave Winfield and Central.
Just to be abundantly clear about what you're doing, what you wanted to do at the school here today.
I just came here today to show my support as a graduate of Roosevelt and tell them how proud I was of what they did of keeping ICE off of this campus. This is a place of learning, and you learn things like the Constitution. You learn about warrants. You learn about things of that nature.
Yeah.
And what we're getting right now is violating all that, what kids are being taught.
Mm.
You want to know something? I'll give you a quote. We're a third world country now. You want to know why? I'm an expert. I've been to them. I spent 17 months in Southeast Asia while the draft dodger was playing golf. Right?
Whoa.
You know how I know?
Whoa, Jesse, whoa. That's a 3-pointer. That's a 3-pointer, Jesse. Hold on. Whoa. The draft dodger? Whew. Wow. Oh, man, Jesse, you don't mince words, man. You do not mince words. But I want to hear your story.
Third world country? Because in third world countries, they have the military doing their police work in the cities when you walk around. I was in the Philippines the day Ferdinand Marcos declared martial law and went under dictatorship. We went from nobody to a guy with a machine gun on every corner. That's what happens in a dictatorship. In comes the military. That's what's happening here. And people better wake up to it. You want to read something? Then read your history of Germany and start comparing the tactics of what happened in 1930s Germany to what's happening here. Read history. You'll learn from history.
I can't deny that. Reading is fundamental. I can't deny one thing that he's saying. Even about third world countries. It may be like that in the state of Minnesota, in the city of Minnesota, but it's definitely not like that all over. It may be like that in Minnesota right now, in Minneapolis, but it's not like that everywhere. But it is to my understanding that there's a large population of Somalian people there that have basically taken over that city. And it may look like a third world country, but I can't say that for all of the United States. So you may be just talking about what's happening immediately around you in a city that you love. And that may, I mean, you were a governor, so I mean, you have a lot of pride for your home state and your cities, and it may feel like that right now because all eyeballs are on that city and what's going on with all that money, and especially that Somalian community up there that nobody knew had basically infiltrated that entire, system up there. I'm waiting for you to talk about the money that was taken and some of this fraud. I'm waiting for you to mention. I hear your issues that you have with the government of the United States of America, but I want to know if you're going to touch on this situation where this money is missing, because me being a taxpayer, that means that some of that money has coming from out of my income. So, I mean, I need you to address that. I'm looking forward to hearing the rest of this just to see if you're going to talk about that.
And this is nothing new. This is all repeated. This is a game plan, it looks like to me, of what's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
How dare Minnesota, we'll take care of ourselves. We don't need federal troops coming in here without warrants.
Some people have said this undermines local law enforcement.
It undermines the entire Constitution. The military cannot be turned loose unless it's a national emergency.
Oh, Jesse, wait a minute now. The money that they're talking about that is missing is a national emergency, because the money is coming out of people's pockets that live nationally. So it kind of is. I can't agree with you on this point right here. I mean, you're cooking right now, but I can't ride with you on this one right here, because it is a national emergency. If people's money is missing from their income all across this country, and there's something going on in that city that demands national attention, then it is a very serious problem. It is a national issue. It's not just a Minnesota thing. I don't think that the situation that's going on up there with all of that money, I don't believe that it's on a small scale. I don't believe that it's just so small where Minnesota needs to just check it and tap in, especially when some of the political board there have been accused of being involved. Some of the people that's in charge, there's accusations that they're even involved, that they've turned a blind eye to some of the things that's going on up there, just so their pockets can continue to be greased. So, I mean, this is why I said, don't be premature. Let the judicial system take its course. Let these people do their jobs. Let them get to the bottom of it. I don't think anything's going to stop them anyway because there's so much money missing. But I believe you're being a little presumptuous, man, when making these accusations. I just don't think. I think you have so much pride in your city and in your state that is blinding you from what's really going on up there on a national level. It's not just in Minnesota.
They're going to tell me this is a national emergency.
Message for Trump and or message for Governor Walz?
Who was that? You mean the draft dodging coward? I don't call him by name. He's the draft dodging coward who, when it was his time to serve his country, he did what all rich white boys did. I wasn't a rich white boy. I grew up in Minneapolis. Most of me and all my friends are Vietnam veterans.
Whoa, Jesse, when people talk like that around here, we do things. the draft dodging white boy? You gonna call him the draft dodging white boy? Jesse Ventura is out of control, y'all. Jesse Ventura is out of control. He do not mince words. He say what he mean and mean what he say. He calling him the draft dodging white boy. Whew. Jesse, you on fire. 21 points, man. You are on fire right now. I gotta hear this.
We had to go, but the rich white boys never had to go, did they? And he didn't have to go, did he? And yet he's going to tell me what courage is?
Are you supporting Governor Walz and Mayor Fry the way they've been outspoken towards?
Absolutely. Good for them and good for these people that stood up. They're teaching their students something, that we are a country, that we have to be a country of law and a country of the Constitution. They're all forgetting about the Constitution of the United States of America. We don't even have it anymore. After January 6th, are you kidding me? And then they all get turned loose, and now they're in charge. I gave up on this country when this guy got. I haven't even watched the news since last November.
What,
I
Jesse?
stumbled onto this, and now look
What, Jesse? You gave up on the country? Come on, Jesse. You didn't give up on the country, did you? I don't believe it. You know why? Because you have a SEAL team. You have a SEAL team hat on. I don't believe you're giving up on the country. I can't quite believe that. Your hat tells me different. You're supporting the military right there. Okay, so I don't believe that. I believe that you're you even have Governor Jesse on your jacket. I see it right here. It says Governor Jesse right there. I see it. You can't hide that. You're just being you're emotional right now. That's what I think it is. You're talking because you just came out of that school. That was your alma mater. And I believe right now that you're just a little emotional. So you may be talking, I believe you mean what you say, but you may be talking out of emotion right now. I don't believe that you're giving up on the country. I don't believe that.
what you've done to me.
Well, thank you for stopping. I appreciate it.
Here I was leading a nice, quiet life, and now you've injected me back in here, and probably going to make me the governor of Minnesota again.
And you seem fired up and motivated.
Because somebody needs to clean up what the Democrats and Republicans constantly wreck. And you notice I lumped them together.
I did.
I should use my old name for them, the Democrips and the Republicans, which my apologies to the Crips and Bloods for using their name in that way.
What? Wait a minute. Wait a
Bloods for using their name. Crips and the Republicans, I should use my old name for them, the Democrips and the Republicans, which my apologies to the Crips and Bloods for using their name in that way.
Governor, would you like to say anything about yesterday, what happened, the tragic?
Democrats, the blood.
Anytime you have the loss of life that it needlessly happens, that's tragedy. And what occurred.
Wait a minute, Jesse. The Democrats and the Republicans. And then he apologized to the Crips and the Bloods for using their names. Jesse, man, you were on fire, man. I'm putting up another point for that. That was a good one. That was a good one.
Yesterday did not have to happen. There is no way. I've seen the tape of it, and who is this? The governor of South Dakota? Has she ever met a person of color?
Whoa!
Do they have any in South Dakota?
Whoa! Wait a minute. What?
Thank you for stopping. Appreciate it.
Wait, you gonna drop the bomb, Jesse? You gonna? Was that a mic drop? What? 30 point. I gotta hear that again.
Do they have any in South Dakota? Have any? Have you ever met a person of the governor of South Dakota? Has she ever met a person of color? Do they have any in South Dakota?
Thank you for stopping.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
it.
sir. Thank
Thank
you.
You know what I'm talking about on that, right?
Nice job. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. He oh, Jesse the body.
The worst nobody's talking about it.
Jesse the body just mic dropped. He just mic dropped the entire Minnesota situation. He just left off with an entire mic drop. And I must say that that was pretty impressive. That was pretty impressive. What he said about that lady in Idaho or South Dakota, it's kind of crazy. I have to go look that up now, but I understand where he's coming from. He's very emotional. He loves Minnesota. Okay. He said he don't need any help. I don't want his emotions to get in the way of making good choices and good decisions, especially about what's going on a national level. I noticed that he just did not talk about the fraud. He did not bring up the fraud. That was one of the glaring things that jumped out to me. He jumped out there and scored, 20 quick points. And then he started pouring it on, as he went on. But if he would have spoke on this fraud, he would have definitely scored damn near 50 points. If I would have even heard him talk about it. But the fact that he did not mention it, it makes me a little suspicious, man. It makes me a little suspicious because you can't act. The biggest situation is that fraud right now going on in Minnesota. What happened just recently to this young lady is as a result of that. And if that stuff is not going on in Minnesota that has to do with fraud, then the situation with this young lady never takes place. Those ICE agents are not even there. So there's something that needs to be. This is why I just think that they just need to let these people do their jobs. The faster they can get done is the faster they can get out of there. And if they find nothing and if you have nothing to hide, then they're going to be going anyway. You know what I mean? So allow them to do their jobs so they can go. But if there's resistance and there's people fighting back, it's making people on a national level get a little suspicious and think like, what's going on? What's the resistance about? Let them do their job. They find nothing. They leave. They're going. But if they do find something, then people are going to go to jail. And it's a lot of things going on up in there, but I can just tell you this, with the amount of money that they've reportedly reported that is missing, there's nothing that's going to be able to stop this government from trying to find that money and find out where it's going. Because that type of money, to me, the ref over here at the Scoreboard Keepers, is a matter of national security. Okay, we're talking about the money that can support one of those small countries' entire economy. That's a problem. You don't know where that money's going. You don't know who it's supporting. You don't know what they're doing with it. These people are here on the inside. We don't know if they're friends or foes. We can't tell. So, I say just let these people do their job. Just let them do their job. The faster they can get done, the faster they can get out. If there's resistance and there's fighting, all we start doing now is start dealing with these other things that's going on now. And unfortunately, somebody lost their life. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to conclude this episode of the Scoreboard Keepers. Jesse the Body Ventura threw up 30 points. Jesse Ventura. Ladies and gentlemen, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thumb up the video. And until the next episode of the Scoreboard Keepers, I am your host, the Ref. Score. God bless and peace. Have a good day.